Kanchi Paramacharya. Chandrash Kekshkarananda Saraswati Swami, popularly known as the Kanchi Paramacharya, was born as Swami Nathan on 20th May 1894 in the town of Villupuram, Tamil Nadu. He was born to a devout Brahmin couple, Subramania Shastri and Mahalakshmi Amal, as their second son. Swami Nathan's brilliance prompted Shastri, his father, to homeschool him until the age of 8. He also trained the boy in music at a very young age. Swami Nathan, the future Kanchi, was capable of grasping and remembering anything that he saw or heard just once. When his father was stationed at Tindavanam, he was enrolled into second form at Arcot American Mission High School. Swami Nathan excelled in studies, coming first in the class, first in all exams in every grade, won all the trophies and at the annual events, and even got first prize in learning the Bible. In 1906, Swami Nathan's father took his family with him to obtain the darshan of the then Shankaracharya, the 66th Pita Dipati of the Kanchi Kamakoti Pitam. The family stayed on for 2 days to get the benefit of Swami's continued darshan. During this occasion, the Acharya interacted closely with the young Swami Nathan and asked him many questions. Pleased with the young boy's brilliance and attractive personality, the Acharya was heard commenting, "He will turn out to be a Mahapurusha." Hearing this, his father's joy knew no bounds. He took leave from the Acharya and returned to Tindavanam, where he was stationed for work. The Acharya had meanwhile requested Subramania Shastri to bring Swami Nathan frequently to the Math, the ashram. The Shastri accordingly took his son several times to the Math. During frequent meetings, the abundant grace of the Guru flowed over young Swami Nathan. One day, Swami Nathan was found missing from his house in Tindavanam. His parents were very anxious and searched everywhere, but he was nowhere to be found. 2 days later, a messenger arrived from the Acharya's camp, which was 5 miles away. He conveyed the news that Swami Nathan had come there for Acharya's darshan on his own, and he was safe. And he added that the Acharya had sent him to convey this message to the parents. In the first week of February in 1907, Subramania Shastri's house received a telegram from the Math camp asking Shastri to come to the Math immediately with Swami Nathan. At the time that the telegram was sent to Tindavanam, the Acharya's health was in decline. Believing that his time was limited, the Acharya had sent the summons to Tindavanam with the intention of installing Swami Nathan as the next Acharya. An excerpt of how he became the 68th pontiff or Acharya was best told by the Kanchi himself and was published in Bhavan's journal in Bombay. It said, "In the beginning of the year 1907, when I was studying in a Christian mission school at Tindavanam, I heard one day that the Shankaracharya of Kanchi Kamakoti Pitam, who was amidst us in our town in the previous year, attained Siddhi at Kalavai, a village about 10 miles from Arcot and 25 miles from Kanchipura. Information was received that a maternal cousin of mine, who, after some study of the Rig Veda, had joined the camp of the Acharya, offering his services to him, and was installed on the Pitham. He was the only son of the widowed and destitute sister of my mother, and there was not a soul in the camp to console her. My mother, with myself and the other children, started to Kalavai to console her sister on her son assuming sannyas at the ashram. We traveled by rail to Kanchipuram and halted at the Shankaracharya muth there. I had my ablutions at the Kumara Kushta Tirtha. A carriage of the muth had arrived there from Kalavai with persons to buy articles for the Maha Puja on the 10th day after the passing of the late Acharya. But one of them, a hereditary maestri, a mason of the muth, asked me to accompany him. A separate cart was engaged for the rest of the family to follow me. During our journey, the mason hinted to me that I might not return home and that the rest of my life might have to be spent in the muth itself. At first, I thought that my elder cousin, having become the head of the muth, it might have been his wish that I was to live with him. But I was only 13 years of age, and so I wondered as to what use I might be to him in the institution. But the mason gradually began to clarify as the miles rolled on that the Acharya, my cousin in the Purva Shram, had fever, which developed into delirium, and that was why I was being separated from the family to be quickly taken to Kalavai. He told me that he was commissioned to go to Tindavanam and fetch me, but he was able to meet me at Kanchipuram itself. I was stunned by this unexpected turn of events. I lay in a kneeling posture in the cart itself, shocked as I was, repeating, Rama, Rama, the only spiritual prayer I knew during the rest of the journey. My mother and the other children came sometime later, only to find that instead of her mission of consoling her sister, she herself was placed in the state of having to be consoled by someone else for losing me as a son. My robes of sannyas were not the result of any renunciation on my part, nor had I the advantage of living under a guru for any length of time. I was surrounded from the very first day of sannyas by all the comforts and responsibilities of a gorgeous court. In the years 1909 and 1910, the mutt appointed scholars who were engaged to teach and train Swami in Sanskrit and Vedic studies. The scholars and the academics of the day were surprised at the brilliance and sharpness of the Swamiji's intellect. The method of schooling given to the new Acharya, the Swami, was very unique. Ordinarily, students treat their teachers with respect and devotion and learn from them. However, the scholars who taught Swami would pay their respects and devotion to him before and after their lessons. Some of the subjects learnt by Swami included the Vyakaranam, the Tharka Shastra, the Vedanta, and others. Swami also learnt languages like Marathi and French. During what little time he had, he got Tamil scholars to train him in Tamil grammar and literature. He made a deep study of the Thivaram, the Thiruvachakam, and the Periya Puranam, among others. Swami used to take walks in the sand dunes in the middle of the Kavari and enjoy the natural beauty. and sometimes get absorbed in meditation in the beautiful surroundings. He liked to take photographs of picturesque landscapes. In those days, there used to be a person who would follow the Swami with a camera, and the Swami would order him randomly to take pictures of certain scenes. Because he was familiar with the intricacies of photography, he would give suggestions and tips to photographers while taking pictures. Swami also became well versed in mathematics, astrology, and astronomy, and he also made himself familiar with the Vaishnavite scriptures. The young Shankaracharya strode this earth as an authentic Jagat Guru, making his devotees at home and abroad, from Kailash and Kasi in the north to Kanyakumari in the south, and all of them marvel at the mastery, the self-assurance, the humility, the dedication and self-discipline of the young sannyasin. He journeyed rapidly across the country, as did one of the ancient sages, Adi Shankara, also mostly on foot, practicing rigorous personal tapas, austerities, and in a spirit of brooding meditativeness.